Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? I know it's been, just over a month, so it's not too terrible. But I'm back. I'm back. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for all of those of you who are still rocking with me, who are still subscribed to my channel, all the different people that have viewed some of my older not podcasts, some of my older videos. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So if you've been looking at my channel, you'd have seen a little while ago, I said I wanted to interview people who had discovered their passion and purpose in their 40s. Well, I got two people, as you saw, and then I didn't really have anybody else. People just didn't want to appear on YouTube or whatever. But I put another announcement out, and I've got some people who wanted to go along with it, which I'm really happy about. I can see my guest Lucy just waiting to come in. Lucy, I'll let you just 1 second. I can see you. Okay, so what it is, why do I want to spotlight people who are over 40? Because typically in society, whether it's in the West or anywhere else in the world, you'll find that when it comes to particularly women who are of a certain age, you're deemed to be no longer of any use, you have nothing to offer, and they focus so much on the younger people. But the reality is, for a lot of people in their 40s, is just the beginning. I know for myself, I really found my passion and purpose in my 40s. It wasn't anywhere on the horizon for me in my 20s. So it's I really wanted to champion women and men, who have found their passion and purpose in their 40s, so that people can know that just when you hit 40 is not the end. For many of us, it's actually the beginning. So I have a wonderful lady waiting to come on. Her name is Lucie Field, and I'll bring her on shortly. Lucie is, Lucie is a functional medicine certified health coach, and she'll explain what that means when she comes on here. And she helps align your authentic self with integrating an uplifting lifestyle that you love and which is in favor of your aging process and longevity. So I'm going to call Lucie on here, and she can introduce herself and explain to us who she is, what she's all about, and how she discovered this in her 40s. Hi.
Hello. Am I live?
You're live. We can see you. You're live.
Great. Excellent. Let me just get my screen in place. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the invite.
No problem.
Delighted to be here. And we have a similar mission, you and I, in helping women over 40s, because there's so much stigma, isn't there, in the world?
Yes.
That over 40, it's all downhill from now.
Yeah.
And whereas you come from a perspective of more emotional and mental aspects of people finding their purpose, I do that as well. But I also come from the health side, the physical side, that it's not downhill at all, and that you don't have to suffer any actual illness as you get older.
Okay, so yeah. Tell us about your journey, because you're based in Malaga and you're a functional medicine certified health coach. So tell us exactly how you got into that whole field. What does it mean?
Okay, well, it was over 20 years ago, and I had really terrible skin complexion that no doctor or cosmetics could improve. And I was just getting really, really desperate, and I couldn't understand why that was. I was doing all the right things. And I found myself in a department store in London, speaking to one of the assistants, trying to find that magical product that would just clear my skin up. And I realised I'd used virtually every product in there. And I was telling her this, I was at the end of my tether, I don't know what else to do. And she said, go and see a functional medicine doctor. So that's exactly what I did. And he basically, it was the most strangest appointment, because I had an hour of being grilled about my life history. And then I walked out without my miracle cream, which I was expecting, because I thought that was the solution. But the next day, and I was feeling quite disappointed, but the next day, in my inbox, a new lifestyle plan came to me that he'd written. And I basically followed it. And this is what functional medicine is. and I'll explain it more in a minute. But I changed my lifestyle. So I changed my nutrition, my exercise routine. What else? I mean, I'll explain it more, but I had to change an awful lot and basically get my body functioning the way that it should. And I remember about 3 months after I'd started this program, I walked into work in the morning and all my colleagues were walking in, grabbing the caffeine, bleary-eyed, and, you know, really just, you know, you see it in people's body. And then I noticed that I was really bright, you know, bushy-tailed and got so much energy. And I had that really clear skin that I was so desperate to have. And the difference was really quite incredible, you know, and that's where I started 20 years ago. It transformed my entire life, and it started there, and it just progressed and progressed, because functional medicine isn't just about physical health, it's about mental, emotional health. And it changed my life. I moved country. I now live in Spain, as you said, and I've done some amazing things that I probably wouldn't have done had I not gone through that, you know, the process as such. So
Wow.
yeah.
So tell us how you became a functional. Oh, sorry, go on. I thought you started gone.
No, so how I came. So I just a few years ago, that was my introduction into functional medicine. And a couple of years ago, I reconnected with that doctor, and I told him what I'd done, how I changed my life, you know, how I'd really incorporated the functional medicine pillars into my life. So it's just a natural thing for me. And he suggested that I became a health coach. And and as soon as he said it, I just knew, you know, when you get that gut feeling and you just it hits you in the gut. And I just knew it's the right thing. And I'd spent many years being quite miserable in my job. And finally I found my passion, you know.
That's wonderful.
And and so I went to study with the Institute of Functional Medicine and Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, and within about 2 months I knew I'd found my purpose. And that was really the missing link in my life, because functional medicine is emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and I've got all the other bits pretty much in place, you know, but not that spiritual part, that purpose, finding my purpose. So, and now I just love life every day. I just you know, working with your passion and your love is an incredibly inspiring thing to do.
I agree 100%. There's nothing like it. There literally is nothing like it.
No, it just, you're living aligned with who you are, what your beliefs are, you know, and you know, helping and inspiring people, you know, every day, which is I feel like I'm putting something back into the world that's purposeful.
Yes. Really. I understand. I hear you totally. Now, once I was looking at this, I wanted to know, what is the difference between functional medicine and holistic medicine, or are they the same thing?
Well, functional medicine, sort of, but functional medicine is very specific.
Okay.
So it was founded by an amazing biochemist called Dr. Jeffrey Bland about 40 years ago, and it's about, I'll do the boring bit and then I'll get onto the interesting bit. But
okay, cool.
It's basically systems biology informed by research, and it's a personalized healthcare approach, because everybody is unique. Everybody's makeup is unique, and we know this now, and we know this from the science and the research. So what last century our big health crises were infections. So we used a lot of antibiotics, and you know, there was a single pill for an ill. Okay,
right.
In this century, what we're seeing is chronic illness. So type 2 diabetes, dementia, all sorts of just chronic illnesses that deprive people of health and actually kill them slowly. And we're now seeing that even our children have a shorter lifespan now than we do. And what functional medicine is that we now know that our genes actually are not our destiny. And with the right lifestyle factors, we literally can change the genetic expression. So through our lifestyle choices, our daily choices, they wash over our genes and they express them. So they either express health or they will express disease. And that's what we're doing. So because we want to reverse this epidemic that we have in society of illness, that people don't have to be suffering, but they just are not aware of what, of what constitutes a good, thriving, healthy life. So
Okay.
did that sum it up? So
I believe so. I'm still not, I mean, I'll probably do a bit more research into the holistic side of things to figure out what the difference is, but I'm sure it doesn't really matter. It's like a healthy way.
Yeah, but it is holistic, but we specifically we work with the epigenetic side of it, and we work with all the 7 systems. I just don't want to bore you and make you glaze over talking about the systems. We optimize all those systems that are in favour for health, and we work with epigenetics. Okay. It is holistic because holistic is looking at the whole body. So we look at the mental, spiritual, physical. We do look at the whole body, but it's ours. Functional medicine is very much personalised medicine, and I think those are the core differences.
Okay, so out of your clientele, what age roughly would you say are in their 40s, or 40 and over? Put it that way.
Sorry, could you say that again?
With your clientele,
yeah,
and what percentage would you say are 40 and over?
Well, I only work with over 40 women.
Okay, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, that's my particular bracket. Yeah, because my specific area is that I help women age well from the inside out naturally. So they, thrive in life and lead a long life, a long health span. That's what it's all about. Because so many of these, as I said, illnesses, we can actually reverse them. We control them if we can only control them, but we can reverse them through the lifestyle interventions, which are diet, exercise, even stress, relaxation. Even people in your environment have a huge impact on your health.
Yes,
huge.
100%. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny, you asked me earlier about where it all started. This actually started at school when I was 15 years old in a history lesson. And nobody was interested in the history lesson at all. It was standard history lesson. And it was summer, and it was sun was
just
shining.
Wanted to be outside, yeah.
Absolutely. And obviously our history teacher knew. And I remember him saying, this is what perked my ears up. Just because those around you have lost their eyesight doesn't mean it's normal for you to lose yours too. So let me translate that into today. I've never forgotten those words. I'll translate that into today. If we look at, our, obesity crisis, it's become normal for people to actually be overweight. It's just normalised now. And then I hear things from women, and they say, I've got aches and pains, or it's just my age. These are the beliefs people have that they're going to degenerate, but they don't have to. If they change the lifestyle and what they were doing, they can reverse it or even prevent all those things happening. And that's what I do.
Yeah. No, I totally know I know for a fact that's correct. I know for a fact 100%. 100%. So if someone's interested in consulting with you at your company, what could they expect?
Well, I have various different programs. So I do a one-to-one coaching program where it's a concierge service. So we would always do a personalised analysis primarily, looking at any imbalances in the body that we need to correct. And then we work through all the modifiable lifestyle factors that that my client is able, and I help coach them to start incorporating into their life with ease, that is aligned with them, because it has to work. Everybody is unique, you know. So we work together, we co-create everything. So the transformation at the end is that they'll be a lot more balanced, you know, their lifestyle will be the right lifestyle that suits them, that they can handle. If we have to work with emotions and the mental side, just mental health, I'm saying, we do that as well. So that's the one-to-one coaching program. And then the group coaching program is just it's a standard, all the secrets to help women age well and live a long life. Okay, all the secrets that will enable them to do that, basically. Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to connect with you, you have a website, you're online. Is it anybody from all over the world can connect with you, or is it specific to Spain?
No. I work worldwide, and well, my website is livelifewellonline.com.
Oh, Live Life Well. Okay, I've got a different website for you.
livelifewellonline.com.
Well, online. So I had a whole other email address or website, all nicely prepared, notified. livelifewellonline.com. Okay.
All right. Yeah. And for anybody that wants if anyone's really interested in this, and I hope you will get inspired by this, because there's so much that you can do to recharge your health and prevent all these illnesses that are unnecessary, with the right information, because there's so much misinformation and myths out there that people believe, and I break all those in my Facebook group. So my Facebook group is The Art of Aging Well, and that's just purely for women.
Well, cool. Put that up as well.
That's it, The Art of Aging Well. So yeah, and I was just going to say, there's a lot of valuable information in there for if people are interested in that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll put all of these links in the description box, so if people are seeing this afterwards, they can still get in touch with you. Okay, well, Lucie, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Are there any words of encouragement you'd want to give to somebody who is over 40 and hasn't quite found the passion, is torn between settling for what they know and stepping out into the quote unquote unknown? What would you advise?
I think the best thing anyone can ever do is to challenge themselves and step out of their comfort zone. Yeah. Because it's very scary. I've had to do it many times through my life. I've been in some very scary situations that, really above my head, but I've been brave enough to just do it. And every time I've done that, no matter how tough it's been, there has always been gold at the end of it. Wow. And it's the most transformative thing you could ever do. And wow. You will just not only improve your emotional and mental health, you will improve your physical health as well by challenging yourself. Okay. Because all these things have a huge impact on your physiology and your actual health as well. So if there's something missing in your life, it's always worth thinking about that. It's always worth thinking about that future vision self. what do I really want to be? What do I really want to get out of my life? What am I missing? Have a really good think about that, and then work out how you're going to get there. And that might just be a little step that you take initially, you know. And then over time, you can just build momentum. Once you get to that top of that mountain, you'll just feel, you know, on top of the world.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
always challenge yourself, and by challenging yourself, you're learning new things, because you can actually even grow your brain as well. Okay, and by continually learning through life, and creating all these challenges, you are literally building your brain, because we have the science, we have the research behind it. If you start giving up, start saying, well, I'm in fact, I heard it yesterday with a good girlfriend of mine who's 65, said, well, I'm 65 now, I've got all these aches and pains, and you know, she's got that mindset that I can expect it at my age, you know. And
that's what we're taught, isn't it?
It is what we're taught. It's absolutely untrue. We know that we can match people's health spans. The health span is the length of someone being healthy to their lifespan, their length of their life. We can actually do that now. You know, so all these aches and pains, I think if my friend was just changed her diet, you know, we changed the nutrition and we looked at all the other modifiable lifestyle factors, she had more movement, she'd be able to absolutely, undoubtedly be able to reverse all that. And just because she's 65, she can still feel a lot younger than she is. Yeah, and people aren't aware of it. It's such a shame.
I just want to pop up a comment here from one of our viewers, Khalifa. Hi, Khalifa. She says, I totally agree with her. We can change our DNA with real physical experiences. Overcoming fears is the fastest way. She's fabulous.
Oh, thank you, Khalifa. Yeah. It's good to have somebody who understands this as well and goes, yes. Because I was having, I was on a webinar with the father of functional medicine. I'll just share this because it's really important. I'm about to go on and do a Facebook Live about it. But let me just share this. I asked him what he's the founder of functional medicine. He's an incredibly intelligent guy. And I asked him, what are your 5 top tips for longevity? And he said, they're really going to surprise you. Okay. So I'm just reading this out. His number 5 was time for ourselves. And this is the learning something new, you know, the challenges, you know, because he's thinking about that, as I said, building that brain, keeping your brain active. And where the cases of dementia are just going up and up and up. Doesn't have to be like that. Then he said number 4, rejuvenation, time to relax, go and do the things that you love, you know, time for yourself, but also sleep is essential. Okay, it's one of the fundamental pillars. We always work with people getting their sleep right. And women over 40 suffer with lack of sleep. Their hormones start changing and then the sleep changes. So that's something is fundamental. Then you've got nutrition. Then we have the movement, because we need to process oxygen in the body, because that affects all the physiological systems in our body. So that's essential. But his number one tip for longevity is actually relationships. Yeah.
Interesting. I can see that, actually. That makes sense. It does.
Yes.
Even though I wouldn't have thought about that as number 1, that does actually make sense. Yeah. You need people in your life. It's a need that we have as human beings. We're supposed to be in community. Yeah. We are.
And the science behind it is that if we lack those social connections, it actually decreases our lifespan. But it's not just about any social connections, because negative social connections have a huge impact, because they stimulate the stress response in the body. And it's not that stress is bad, we need it, it's fundamental, but chronic stress. So actually marriages are the worst source of stress in women's lives. And it's that chronic stress that decreases people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
But also he was talking about the reason relationships are so important is it's about who you hang out with actually determines how you behave.
Mm-hmm.
Because functional medicine is lifestyle medicine, we're incorporating a beneficial lifestyle into people's lives. If you're hanging out with the wrong people, they influence you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
And that influence translates into what your health is later on in your life. So that was his number one. So have a think about your relationships and make sure they're really positive and that they benefit you.
Yeah. I've seen that actually. I was in a few toxic friendships going a while back. And it took me a while to realize that they were toxic. And it took me a while to kind of recover from that once I did realize they were toxic and extricate myself. But it took a long time to heal from those. It took a long, long time. It had a detrimental effect on me, actually.
It does. And it's very, I've been through the same. It's very difficult to let go because you actually, although they're toxic, you actually still care about that person.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets to the point where you have to look after your soul, and your heart might be burdened by it, but by removing yourself from that relationship, you're actually setting your soul free, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. Bang on. So bang on. Yeah.
And I've always attracted, well, I haven't always, but I've had toxic relationships. And I'll give you this little phrase that a colleague of mine said, and this transformed my life. She said, put 99% of your love into those that love you back and only 1% into those that don't. Wow. And that radically altered my life.
Wow.
Yeah. Because if you're like many women, we're pleasers, we're, make sure everybody's okay, we're the nurturers, we're the carers, and it's very natural for us to look after people, isn't it? But, there's a balance, isn't it? There's a give and a receive.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. You're right. I remember I used to go to his church years ago. That was the worst decision of my life. And when I finally left, I remember my sister making a comment. She goes, even your laugh sounds different. Because I was so stressed with everything. She goes, even though the way you laugh, it sounds so different. And I remember I met up with some of the people from there some months later. We were at a function. I said, wow, you look so good now. Look how you're glowing, you're thriving. I thought, isn't that interesting? But you're still there. And you can see that I'm glowing and thriving now that I've left. Maybe you want to take a look at and see if it's something you should do as well. Do you know what I mean? But I know it's like, whether it's in a church setting or a friendship setting or relationship setting, the toll on your soul, as you quite rightly pointed out earlier, is massive, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
No, it's not. We just don't realise, do we? That and it can change, as you say, it can change your physical appearance. Literally.
Yeah, I've experienced that. I can say with 100% certainty, it's absolutely the truth. Absolutely the truth.
Yeah. Because it's toxic people give you toxic thoughts, and that has actually a physiology in the body that produces chemicals that shouldn't be there. So what you want to be doing is producing positive chemicals, like positive hormones, like oxytocin, which is, I've probably heard of it, the cuddle hormone. So and that's by cuddling people, by giving people compliments, by being kind to somebody, has an actual physiological response in the body. It's positive, and the release of those chemicals, those also lengthen your life as well. So if you're not releasing them because you're surrounded by people that aren't good for you, decreases your life and makes you very unhappy. You're not thriving. You deserve.
And I also know that certain cancers are caused as a result of stress. But so a friend of my sister's passed as a result of that. That was the initial thing. The GP actually said to her, as a result of what you've been going through, this is now produces in your body, and unfortunately, this is what you now have. And she ended up passing away before she was 40, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, she's in a terrible relationship, and it just cut her life short. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry that for her that that happened to her, but yeah, that's a classic case of the
Yeah.
effects of it, you know. And so many people aren't, well, they don't realise that they're in that chronic stress response because it's normal. I used to be there. That was
Hmm.
me living in London. I thought it was normal to be running around, you know, and completely, you know, I was just really hot. I felt high all the time, you know, and
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
cortisol. For me, it was normal, and it wasn't until I went to work on yachts, and then I was just surrounded by water in beautiful locations in the world. I went, Jesus, this is what it's like to relax, you know. And I'd finally clicked out of that chronic stress response that so many people get locked into.
Hmm.
And I've gone into the relapse response, and that relapse response is where you heal.
Yeah.
It's where people heal. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really important to get that balance right every day, you know, through techniques. You know, I know you're living in London, so I know it's a very stressful place, but we're affected by our environment, and everyone gets affected differently. But you can control that response. You can control that stress response, so it's beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
No,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Lucie, thank you so much. You've been wonderful sharing with you. Thank you for all of your advice and everything you shared with regards to what you're doing. Thank you for stepping out and showing that women in their 40s is not the end. Do you know what I mean? It could be the beginning of a whole wonderful new journey. I just thank you for that.
Oh,
I thank you
without
for
a
having the courage
doubt.
to step out and do that.
Yeah, without a doubt. Grab, you know, life like this and
Yeah,
go for it.
you've got
It's
to.
only going to get better.
Yeah, I agree. And if you are watching and you'd also like to share your story of how you found your passion and purpose over the age of 40, you can email me over40slounge@gmail.com and we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for watching. And Lucie, thank you a million times. I really appreciate you coming on my channel and sharing your story with me. I really appreciate that.
Pleasure. Take care. Have a good day, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.